All right, welcome guys. This is your boy Fifi McFly from the Unleashed podcast. I'm here to show you how to create a nice, simple, clean desktop layout. This is my current desktop layout. As you heard on the last podcast, I recently built my own computer, and I didn't want to use the same layout I had before, so I went ahead and used this one. I have I think we all on the podcast have an ultra wide monitor at this point. But yeah, I got my time here since I don't have a clock on my desk. Quick, simple. You know, I got my music player up here, so I could or stop. Doesn't really matter. Um, I don't think I'm gonna include any of the music on here because YouTube might take it down. But yeah, you trust me, it works. Press play, it plays. You press pause, it pauses. Then I have the apps right here. These are my most frequently used apps. Click on Xbox. Xbox, the console companion will come out. Music, it'll open up my Spotify if I want to change it. Here it's only gonna control what what I'm listening to. If I want to change what I'm listening to, gotta go here. Now I wonder if I play our podcast. So when I play our podcast, I did notice, and it's not just ours; it's any podcast. I'll close this out. When I hit play up here, it doesn't show the podcast name or title, but it's not just ours; it's all of them. That's kind of weird. All right, but let's get into this. So let me revert back to what my desktop used to look like. And you're only gonna need two apps for this. You're gonna need Steam so that you can download Wallpaper Engine. And if you come up here, if I click on games, it does bring me up to things Wallpaper Engine. And then you're gonna need Rainmeter, and I'll explain that in a bit. But let me undo all of this, and I'll be right back. All right, so I just built my PC. I don't really have a lot of things on it yet, but PCs do get a little bit messy at times if you don't take proper care, like organize your shit. So the first thing I did, I went ahead and created an apps folder. Just simply, right click, new folder, name it apps. In here, you're going to put in whatever apps you want to come up on the side that I had earlier, and I'll show you why in when I get there. You can do that, but for now, we're just gonna work on getting the moving background, which is super easy because again, once you download Steam, you're gonna want to open up Steam and launch Wallpaper Engine. Now this is gonna start whenever you turn your computer on and off. It's pretty cool. It comes preloaded with some backgrounds. Like this one, autofile. Where's Spotify? So now if I play, it just reacts. They have all different types of backgrounds, so you can find a moving background on there. I wanted something that was gonna go ahead and go with like I have a bunch of Halo shit around my desk, so I wanted something that was gonna be, gonna show the chief off. I tried to go with Cortana. Cortana was pretty nice, but I don't know, something about it. I didn't like the quality here too much. So I'm like, you could go to the workshop and create your own. Discover if you want to try searching for other wallpapers, But anyway, I use the Halo 4K, where is the chief statue. Now here it has a couple different like menu options. All I did, this comes at 50. Whatever, 53 is cool enough, and that's gonna control the playback speed of the leaves that are coming around. And this effect right here, I wasn't too crazy about it, so I went ahead and moved that down to 10. You know, now it's very subtle. Now this, whatever was going on here, you don't really notice it as much, but you still see the leaves coming down. So I think that's a really nice effect. That's why I went ahead and went with that. All right, I had to pick up a phone call real quick. So I kind of forgot where I was at. But anyway, some backgrounds have music. You know, I keep mine down because it does play. Like if you're playing a movie or anything in the background, it does play as well. So I just keep the volume down. You know, this again, when you turn your computer on and off, it just starts up automatically. Your background will always be there as if it was your normal background. Sometimes there is a little bit of lag, but it pops up. It's awesome. I really like it. So next, we're gonna go to Rainmeter. You're gonna want to download that. Don't judge me because I use Bing or Microsoft Edge or whatever it is. I'm just using it for the free points because then I can redeem it for Xbox cards and stuff like that. You know, at Unleashed we love free shit. Anyway, you're gonna go to Rainmeter.net. Here you're gonna download Rainmeter. I downloaded the final release. I didn't download the beta. Less buggy, I guess. I'm not sure. But yes, I went with the final release. You're gonna download and install that. All right. So now, when you go ahead and install and open up Rainmeter, this should be the screen that you see. It looks nothing like what I had set up. Anyway, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to right-click on Rainmeter. Go to edit, manage skin, and in manage skin you'll get this this loader. So here you're gonna want, well, actually, what you're gonna want to do next is open your internet browser and go to rainmeterhub.com. This is where you're gonna find all the different skins that you need to alter Rainmeter. All right, when you're in Rainmeter Hub, you're gonna want to download whatever skin you want to use. So for my setup on audio, I downloaded a Musico and I downloaded minimal volume control. For the clock, I downloaded Elegant Clock. Launcher, I used to have Honeycomb. I really like Honeycomb, but this time I went ahead and downloaded Launcher. So let me see. It was up here was Musico, Launcher, Elegant Clock. So I only downloaded those three. Oh no, audio. I also downloaded minimal volume control. Downloaded those four so I could keep it simple on my desktop. But once you download them, you're gonna want to, let me see, documents. So once you download, wherever you download Rainmeter, I installed it in my documents. You're gonna see a folder called skins. This should only have Illustro in there, I believe it is. I went ahead and created a folder called zips, and whatever skins I download, I download the zips inside of this folder. When it installs them inside of this folder, you know, just to keep it all compact and you know where to find shit. Okay, so we close that. Again, this is where you're gonna want to create the apps and put the shortcuts to whatever apps you use frequently for the launcher. So what you're gonna want to do now is you're gonna want to get rid of this screen and these up here unless you want to keep them for whatever reason. So you go to Illustro, you click down, you expand it, you go to their clock, and you're gonna unload that skin. You see, and then it just disappears. You'll go to System, unload that one. The next one should be Disk. This too, unload that one. And then this here is the welcome screen. You could unload that as well. And at this point, you should have unzipped your Rainmeter skins and installed them. I'm gonna start with Launcher because it's the most difficult to set up. But let's see. Let's load that. Now you can barely see it on my screen because it's over here. And when you launch Launcher, it's gonna look completely different. It's gonna be all over your screen. It's gonna be pretty wild. I'll minimize this. But what you want to do in Launcher, you're gonna head to it and you're gonna right click and hit edit skin. And then you're gonna come back to it and you're gonna click in with your middle mouse button. You're gonna get this screen. So this is where I spent the most time trying to set up this app, where you have your app name, which, I mean, that's simple. You put in whatever you want there. You know, you to save, Control S to save it. Once you save whatever you put as the app name, you come back, you refresh the app by right clicking and going down to refresh skin, and it'll change to whatever the app name is. The biggest problem I had was, and I didn't have this issue with Spotify, but you need the app path. Wherever the app is saved and stored, you're gonna need to find that. I found it easily for Spotify, and now if I go to music, it just opens up Spotify. But when I tried doing the same thing with the Xbox app, it just wasn't working at all. So I got frustrated. That's where I created the apps folder, and I put the shortcuts to the apps on there. So now it's simple. You go to McFly, desktop, apps, find the Xbox app. Now it'll open the Xbox app. You see, I changed this back to Xbox here, and I did save it, but it's not. It's still saying unleashed because you need to refresh the skin for it to show whatever changes you made. So you're gonna want to. That was the simple way of doing it. You're gonna want to add your apps here, so that this way you just put in the app name, app path. Simple. This app itself supports up to 10. They said you could add more than 10. I don't need that right now. I am debating on whether, if I get more apps that I'm using more frequently, like let's say I want to do OBS and apps like that, I might copy this this whole skin and redo it and put it on this side here, so it kind of has the same circle effect just on both sides. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to decide that. But once you have your app's name and the path on here, close that out, save it, close it out. You don't need it again. You're gonna come over to this screen, and this is where you're gonna style it. So the font face, I use Futura LT because it came loaded with the Musico app that's gonna come up here. Each app has two modes. It has passive. Right now the apps are in passive. I'm not doing anything with them. They're just there. And then it has active. When I come up to an app, now it is active. It's reacting because it is active. So under passive, I did not change the font face. Because I did not change the font face, it is using Futura. If I go ahead and change the font face, like with active, I changed it to Road Rage. So now the Xbox is on Futura. If I go to it, it's showing Road Rage. If I go up here, change font face to Road Rage. I'm not sure if this is case sensitive or not, but let's find out. It's not. So, but now it switches it to Road Rage. What I didn't like was when it's passive, Road Rage looks I don't know. I notice it. What I want my apps is that if I'm not using it, I don't want to notice it. So with Road Rage, I kind of do notice it. So that's why I like Futura a bit more. So where was that? Active? No, it's passive. Let's change this back to Futura LT. And then, well, actually, no, I could just leave it with font. Well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's gonna go back to Futura. Okay. Save that. You could use whatever font face. You could download fonts from thefont.com or wherever you like to get fonts from. Download them, whatever font you download. Just put the once you install them, put the name either in active or passive, or if you want them all to be the same, you don't have to input them one by one. Just come up here and under font face here under variables, you put whatever font face you want it to be the default. And then you could change one or two if you want those to be different than the others. Once you got the font situated, you're going to choose your colors. Again, with me, passive, I just want it With me passive, I just kind of wanted to blend into the background, so I left it the default that comes with it, you know. But for active, so for the Xbox, I wanted it green, you know, to signify Xbox. So I went ahead and I typed in Xbox Green RGB. That's gonna give you the RGB code. So it's gonna have 16 reds, 124 greens, 16 blues. They go up to 255 each. You could play around with that if you want to come up with a custom color that you like, you know. But yeah, this is the official Xbox Green. I went ahead and plugged that in. So where is that? Right here, font color. So now this is telling it when I come up to the app and I scroll to it, when it's activated, it's going to change the font and change the color. That's it. You rinse and repeat. Do that for all the other ones. Find whatever colors you want and do it. At this point, your apps are still going to be like all over the screen. You come down. Well, it's not really going to be all over. That's wrong. They're going to be right under each other. So music is going to be right under Xbox. Internet is going to be under music and so forth. What I did was that I increased the X value to just, you know, move it over a little bit. So I moved this over by 25 pixels. I moved this over by 50. This one by 75. This one I brought back to 50. This one brought back to 25. And this one I left at 0 to give you that little curve effect. But if you don't like it, you could put it straight 0. And it'll just be one right under the other. I'm assuming with Y, if you change the value of Y, it'll probably have them all in line. I'm not sure. I didn't even try that. But yeah, play around with it, see how you like that, and that's how you set this up. The other ones are super easy. Oh, and if you, let's say you just want, not Xbox Green, if you just wanted another color, RGBcolorcode.com, they're pretty awesome. Come in here, you type the color that you want. Let's say you just want a blue, and it'll give you all these different type of blue colors that, you know, you click on a blue, Blizzard blue. It'll give you the RGB value right here. This is what you're going to want to plug in. Okay. So now that we got that squared away, we could go ahead and hit right click, view. I have it on show desktop icons. We could remove the icons. That's it. So now you have nice clean background. But you want to add some functionality. Like, I mean, I have my music and stuff, but I also want to add to control my music, my volume, which was down here, and the time up here. So if you come back to launcher and you right click and go to manage skin, it'll bring this back up. You could minimize launcher. Let's do Musico. So you come here, you click on it, you hit load app. Another thing real quick with launcher, these are some values you could play around with. Like I set the transparency at 50. I could put it at 0. But I do have a fade in, so let's see, do nothing. Or you could put it at 100, and then you really can't see it, you know. But I don't know. 50 is good enough for me. Position, I put stay top upmost, since you can't really see it like that. Let's go back to fade in. Since you can't really see it like that, I leave it at stay top most, so it's always on there, you know. So it's always on there. But when I'm, you know, I got a large monitor. I'm hardly ever in the screen. But if I am coming to the side, it's always going to be on top. If you don't like that, you could put desktop, and now it's just on your desktop. So for Musico, you'll come up here. You could hit play. You could pause it, but again, it doesn't have the title or the artist, because it's a podcast. If you go to open up your whatever you use, when you open up Musico, it's gonna ask you what app do you use. I put Spotify, so it gave me Spotify. But let's see, let's play some Missy Elliott, and then you see how it has the name. It has the name and the name of the song. This on your screen is gonna be all white. So what you're going to want to do to change the colors around, click on it hit edit skin. Same thing, same logic. You're gonna scroll down and you're gonna find what you want to change. So title style, font color, this is what you're gonna change. So this is telling it needs 255 reds, 239 green, 0 blues. That's gonna give you this color here. This is the transparency. I really don't mess around with this as much. If you scroll all the way down till you find progress, round line, line color. Here, you do the same, 255, 239, 0, so that the yellow matches, you know. But you could change this around, find what you want to color in, and that's what you're gonna want to find the RGB color you want to put that in. Simple, it's done. You come to launcher, go to elegant clock. They come with 2 clocks. They come with the dark clock, which you could edit, or light clock, which you could edit. I edited the light clock. All I did was same thing, right click on the skin itself, go to edit skin. Here, your time is gonna be in like military time. You'll have like 13, 14, 1500 hours. To change that under format and measures, you're gonna change that from %R to %I. Or no, I think yours says %H. Whatever it says, you're gonna change it to %I, and it'll come out with the US time. Then the font color, you put whatever font color you want here. I just noticed there's a different value. What was this? 239, I believe. Let me save it. And then whatever changes you make here before it shows, you have to right click and refresh it. If you don't refresh, it's not gonna show. There you go. Change the, now the yellow should all be the same. Yeah. Close that out. So that's set up. The other one was volume control. Where's that? It's right here. Let's load that. This one, when you load it, it's gonna be right up here in the corner. And the only way to move it around is by switching the coordinates here. So this one moves it from left to right. This is going to move it from top to bottom. Okay. Once you move it, it just controls your music. You could right click and edit skin and find the colors you want to change. Like the volume bar, this is the bar colors here. I was messing around with it and it didn't function as good as it does now. So I kind of unloaded it, deleted it, and re-downloaded it so I could clear it back to default. So I left it as is. It doesn't bother me there. But now if you listen to music,
me, I'm super fly, super duper fly.
So let me pause that just because I don't want YouTube to take our video off. But anyway, this was a quickish tutorial, I guess, on how to get this layout that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Listen to the podcast. Like this video. Share it. Do whatever you got to do. Again, this is Fifi McFly from the Unleashed podcast. Tune in and listen.